Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. Happy New Year! It's almost noon. I have just been going back and forth and getting all sorts of stuff done this morning. Like I set up my page in my new day planner at the beginning of each month. Oops. No, I didn't set it up completely because I didn't go into Ravelry and get new figures for my stash. I like to, I'm losing words, have figures on each page each month to say, what is my stash, my yarn stash that I have listed in Ravelry at? What's my inventory at? What sort of sales are typical for January? What's typical for January in Etsy? Okay, typical sales for January, my lowest was $0. Yep, I had a January where I didn't sell a thing. The average is about $18.50. And the high, my best January ever, was $285. And I should have readers on to read this because it's a little square and I had to fit a lot of numbers in. Oh, I was wrong. Okay. Average sales for January are $146. My high was $295.75. On Etsy, my worst month ever was $0. I averaged $75.59 on Etsy in January, and my best month ever was $295.75. So that best year on Etsy, or my best year of sales, everything that month came from Etsy. Now I do have, well, there are craft shows that add to it. There are in-person sales, like if one of my Facebook friends says, hey, I saw that you put up that picture of that such and such. Can I buy that? Although that hasn't happened in a long time. Does that mean I don't have friends anymore? Just kidding, Joanna. Where was I? So I got that done. So I was comparing numbers between January and December. I suppose it would be more accurate if I did go into Ravelry and got updated numbers for now. But according to the figures I was working with, I gained 8 pounds in 2024. 8 pounds of yarn. Yeah. I'm trying to whittle down my stash, but it's such fun yarn shopping. Okay. My inventory also gained. I made $1,651.75 more in products than I sold this year. So, had to figure out how to balance that out. Have to have some better shows and move more inventory and not make stuff that's like, oh, this is sort of weird, but nope, make the stuff that I know sells. Okay. I went through and I made a list of how many items I made each month The top 3 months for makes were March, when I made 91 items. Now that was before Easter. So I was probably churning out butter lambs like crazy, and I can make like 4 or 5 of them a day if I'm really focused. I want to start making them again, like 1 a day, or like 3 or 4 a week, something like that, so that I can get that listing viewed and start the butter lamb sales. Because total sales on Etsy, March was my best month because I sold a lot of butter lambs last year. And I know I'll probably get a question in the comment. I get messages on Etsy all the time asking for the pattern. This is one where I'm standing firm that I'm not going to publish a pattern on it because I sort of have a corner on the market, and the butter lamb sales are about the only thing to keep my Etsy shop going in the slow months, the first few slow months of the year. So it's going to remain Grammy's secret recipe. Okay, sorry, but that's the decision I've made. So March, I made 91 items. May, I made 75, and October, I made 80. So I didn't go back through and go through the month and see what sort of stuff I made. It was just like, okay, I was busy in those months. The lowest month, there's 63 in April, 42 in June. Okay, June and November were slow months. So like November and December, November I made 51 items. December I made 54. So that is low compared to other months. I think it's because for the last couple of months I've been trying to get some bigger projects in there, like the Ballerina Kitty and the Ankylosaurus. It's like bigger dinosaurs, bigger good sellers. Okay. My best month, of course, was July, because I had Street Fest that month. I had 2 really good shows that month, and July became my best month ever by like $400. So, yay! I wish I could find more shows like Street Fest, where they just close down a street and have the vendors out there for one day and lots of people. I love Street Fest. It's expensive, but I love Street Fest. Okay, what was the other stuff I was gonna... when I went through, I updated my sales overall, which gives a month-by-month breakdown. I stayed up till midnight last night watching Twilight Zone. I was up at like 7 this morning. So I need some coffee to ward off the yawns. Okay. So I updated my list of all the sales ever since I started Penguin Place back in November of 2012. June and August were the only 2 months this year where I did not have over average sales for that particular month. So I've been sort of like, this wasn't a very good year. All of my craft shows were, I had so many bummer craft shows. Well, even if you add up a bunch of bummer craft shows, it adds up. So I redid my to-do list this morning. Oh, this was a mess, and it's all nice and neat now. I only have 11 items on the list. I sing a lot, probably because I'm tired. I have a list of Etsy updates to make. My list of wanna makes is down to only 5, so I think I have to add a few more to that. I currently have 4 works in progress. I need to come up with some sort of schedule so that I actually put in some work on all of the works in progress. I have a Boggy Creek blanket that I'm working on. I think I got to have that done by the end of the month to get it mailed down to Florida for when they go to take all the blankets in. So I'm going to have to measure it and determine how many inches I need to add to it, divide that by the weeks in January, and have myself like, okay, now you've got to add 8 inches per week to this Afghan to have it done. That may be the only way to get me going. Okay, and there's 2 kits that I've been working on for weeks and weeks now. And I started a new project yesterday. It was one of my wanna-makes. Milo the robot. I think I showed the pattern a few weeks ago. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I've got the head done and about half the body. So I should have him done today. It's just, he's turning out pretty cute. I'm having fun with that. I can see more Milo the robots in my future. And I have still lots of stuff to restock. So there's no lack of projects. It's just trying to figure out what to do next. And what sort of goals for 2012. Well, it's always 2012. Whoa. I've been watching too much Twilight Zone. I got myself into a time warp there. It's the same every year. I want to downsize my yarn stash. Stop buying so much yarn. Stop buying so many kits. Finish what I've got. And get my inventory down. Well, okay. The yarn, that's on my shoulders. I'm the one who buys the yarn. So if I stop buying the yarn and keep working from what I've got here, that works. The whole thing of working my inventory down, getting the inventory down, that depends on sales. And sometimes I feel like sales is something I can't control as much. I'm looking for some more really good shows. At one of the shows I did, another local crafter stopped by, and she had mentioned some that are summer shows. I think they're in August, and they're about an hour's drive away, maybe an hour and a half. I have to ask my husband, how far is Bemis Point, Chautauqua, all that. I know that we passed by there, but we're driving down to our daughter's house in Pennsylvania. And okay, if I could get another couple shows like Street Fest, I think that I would get my inventory going down a bit. I also need to keep the consistency of keeping my Etsy shop up to date. Right now I'm looking at my list and thinking, well, I've got 7 different listings there that really need updating. Like one under the sea listing. Out of the 9 items listed in the listing, all but 3 are sold. So I need to get some of my new items into that listing and get the pictures updated. Yeah. I need longer days. I've got a lot to do. So today I'm going to work on Milo the robot. See if I can get him done. I'm going to try to get a butter lamb done, just to make progress towards that goal of making a couple a week. and get pictures of all of them I have now. I think I have 4 in stock, and get that listing, nice fresh pictures, and get it. I think I will move it to one of the featured listings. I don't even know what my featured listings are anymore. I have been so neglectful of my Etsy shop. So, and I need to get an Etsy order packaged up and ready to send out tomorrow, because I got an Etsy order today for one of my happy coffees. So then I should remake that to keep that listing nice and full, because I take one group shot and then individual shots of all of the other coffee cups, of each coffee cup, so that for the variation, I've got an individual picture of it. So if there's an opening, I can make another coffee cup, and that will help me to clear a little bit out of my scrap bag. So I'm still working on the scrap bag challenges. Yeah, that's another thing that I should add to 2025 goals, to get this tote. It's a full-size tote with all of the bags from my November 11th purchase, to get that emptied out. I hopefully will have it emptied out by May. We'll see. Okay. It's amazing that I could talk for 16 minutes without showing you anything that I finished. But I didn't finish anything last night. Milo's taken a little longer than most projects. He's going to be a pretty big boy. I've got the head done. The head is maybe 6 inches wide and 4 inches tall. But rather than wait till the end to assemble everything, I've got the head all sewn up and the faceplate on and the eyes on. So as soon as the body is done, I'll get that sewn on, and then I'll go fast. Okay. You see, I'm all bundled up today. This is a new sweater that I got when I went out to a thrift store on Monday. They didn't have any yarn in the store. They didn't have any crochet books on the wall. So I got 2 new sweaters and a new dress. But I didn't try the dress on. And even though the size said it should fit, it doesn't fit. I'm always like trying to stick to a diet and trying to lose weight. I need to make a concentrated effort. And, getting the exercise back in, watching my diet. I have lost a few pounds, but I've got a long ways to go. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be fitting into, hopefully by my birthday, I'll be fitting into that dress. Okay. I'm going to go play with yarn for a while. I know I need to update some Etsy orders, update some Etsy listings, and get the Etsy order, working on that. But I've been working on the laptop for a lot this morning, and I have earned some play with yarn time. So, bye-bye.